I got off the, let me tell you what I had massive issues with: earaches, asthma, eczema. I could not digest food. My ears were so bad, mucus used to just run out of my ears. And it was dairy, refined sugar. I had to leave that poison alone. But once I cleaned up, everything went away. Everything went away. Just that simple. Just that easy.
Greetings. My name is Queen Afua. I help people to live a healthy life in body, mind, and spirit. Welcome into the Sacred Circle, where you will find peace, inspiration, and practical tools for living a happy wellness lifestyle. So come inside and make yourself at home.
First, I just have to say, I honor you so much. I love you so much. You are the queen. My daughter and I talk about you all the time, and I got chills. I'm so excited to just be on here with you, because really, I love you.
Well, you know what? It's a mutual admiration then. Now that I know you, I'm going to know you. And my family's coming in next weekend for 5 days or so. So you're going to be one of our trips over
the stuff I eat, huh? Well, you know, I got started when I met my husband, Rondo Davis, in 1990. And I was having all those issues you were talking about in that bio. You know, and he gave me information. He said, here, read this, go study something. And that was the best thing he could have done for me, because knowledge is power. You know what I'm saying? Once you got the knowledge, then you can make informed decisions for yourself. And I transitioned overnight. I was like, I'm done with the animal products. I wasn't able to eat them well anyway. Nothing ever digested. I was miserable. I don't get taking medication after you eat. That is this intelligent human body we have. We should not have to medicate ourselves after we eat to digest food. It just doesn't make sense. So that's pretty much how I got started. Just met him and transitioned overnight. And I give thanks every day for that change. Yeah, you know.
Well, and then, so you didn't just change you, but then how long did it take you to open up into the business of wellness?
You know, 1990, we met. 1992, we were married. And we found the building in 2008. But prior to getting a building, we were over at Agape Spiritual Center for 6 years.
Okay.
Yeah, we were over there for 6 years on the parking lot. We built ourselves a cart. And that's where we served people before we moved to Inglewood into the store. Yeah, I never thought I was gonna have a restaurant. Girl, we ain't had no money, but you know how the universe works for us. All you got to do is have the dream and the desire. It's gonna, if it's for the good, it's gonna work out. So yeah.
Well, you didn't get this. You didn't just this attitude that you have. Where did it come from? It's your mother, your father, your grandmother. Where did it come from? Because you're so charged up. Somebody gave you some love when you were little.
My mother transitioned at age 93, but she was a jewel, and she never met a stranger. She had a 3rd grade education, but one of the sharpest people you ever met. We were never on welfare. My mother worked 2 and 3 jobs. So miss me with the shiftless and lazy, because that was one woman that was not shiftless and lazy. And she taught us not to be that way either. So really my energy, my daughter always says, you remind me so much of grandma. I just kind of really just take after my mom, you know.
Because I feel her presence.
Yeah, she's amazing.
I feel your mother's presence. We give thanks.
Yes.
Now the asthma. You know, how long did that take for you to rectify that? And what did you do?
Got off the dairy.
Okay.
I got
That's
off the
nothing
dairy.
wrong.
Let me tell you what I had massive issues with: earaches, asthma, eczema. I could not digest food. My ears were so bad, mucus used to just run out of my ears. And it was dairy.
Yes.
Refined sugar. I had to
Yes.
leave that poison alone.
Yes.
But once I cleaned up, everything went away. Everything went away.
It went
Just
away.
that simple. Just that easy.
Well, you know, if it was, obviously it's not easy for everybody because nobody would be sick because it seems logical. Once you know it and you let that poison go because that's what created it, it's the simplest thing, but people are addicted.
Yes.
I think that having a restaurant, though, helps the people get over the addiction because they have the food alternatives, they have the flavor, the taste, the texture, and that makes them like, oh, I can do this. I'm sure people come to your place and say, you know what? I really don't necessarily want to do it, but this tastes good. I can do this and get the help at the same time. So when people come to your place, what are their experiences? Because I look at that as a pharmacy. Your restaurant is a pharmacy. That's what I believe.
There you go. Let me tell you, when we first opened, there were people used to come in, read the menu, turn around and walk out. I would chase them. Girl, I would go after them and say, come back in here. I'm gonna give you a taco. I'm gonna give you a taco. I would give them a taco. They sit there and eat it and sit there and buy another meal and became customers. I gave away so many tacos, but I understand where I'm from. I understand.
Yes.
I ate the same exact way before I knew better. So, and that's why you just hit the nail on the head. All we're about is taste and texture. Just handle the taste and the texture. And okay, I may follow you. You know?
Wow. Wow. And so how many years have you been in your business?
Woo. Okay, so we've been in the restaurant. We got in there in 2008. And what is it? 2021?
Yes.
So, yeah, quite a number of years. And baby, when we got in there, we didn't have trash cans. We had 3 bistro tables and the chairs. We didn't have tables and chairs, nothing. But they say, if you open, the people will come. And so that's what we did. We opened at July 1st. We opened for like 4 hours a day. And then we had our grand opening in August, and we have not looked back.
So it's you and your husband.
My husband and myself, yes.
Okay.
No, but that's not to say we didn't have some marvelous, marvelous energy that helped us get in there through monetary contributions. We had some lovely, lovely people that assisted us.
So you had some strong supporters.
We did have some strong support. We have one girl that's with us right now. Her name is Danielle Horton. Danielle is a soldier. She's been there from day one, just hanging. I don't know what we would have done without her. So,
well, tell us about Danielle, because it takes that. It takes believers.
Yeah.
It does take supporters. You know, you can have a vision, but if you don't have the right ones around the vision to support it, like midwives, I would say,
yes,
then it's become very challenging. So tell us a little bit about her.
You know, Danielle, she started working with us when we were over at Agape Spiritual Center.
Yes.
And then she just quit her job and moved right into the restaurant with us. And she has been there. So of course we've given her part of the business. I mean, you either contribute with money or time. And she has given so much of herself for this project. I mean, just really a sweetheart, really and truly a sweetheart. And that, I mean, it wasn't like food was her thing, you know what I mean? But she latched on, and we all became friends, and we can't run the business without her right now.
Well, you know, food is, that's why I asked you about where to get your energy from, your way. Because, you know, the food wasn't her thing. I'm sure it is now, because it's probably saving her life from other issues. But the fact that it's your energy that is the food.
That's
People
true.
are coming to eat the food.
Yes.
But they're also coming to be with you, to tarry with you, to commune with you. And you can feel your food to your
Oh.
spirit.
And you know what, Queen
That's a
Afua,
lot.
I often when I lose it and maybe my ego is hanging out on my shoulder and I'm tripping over something that's unimportant, especially around the food, it is always the reminder. This is food. All of this goes right into the food that you're about to share with people. You got to go outside, take a deep breath, and clear it up. It's so true. So true.
Well, I'll also say this, Agape, you was a smart woman because they say location.
Yeah.
You have parked yourself in the right location. And the followers who would be that conscious, who would take good care of their health, they take care of their spirit, they take care of their relationship, they are fired up and charged up there over with Reverend Michael Beckford and all of those who support vision.
Yes.
Automatically have to go eat your food.
Yes. Block
so
long
that
lines, Queen. We wound
long
up with
lines,
long lines.
wrap around.
Every Sunday. Every Sunday.
Well, you know, I'm so happy about it because I was like reflecting, and I mentioned a few days ago that I went into this church with my daughter. It's a huge church, thousands of people were there. And I walked in and I was smelling the food. And they had, I won't say the name of the restaurant, but it was a mainstream fast food restaurant. It was a restaurant in the church. So when I went past the restaurant, I took 10 steps over into where the service was. So people was having their breakfast there. They have their after service, they're having their lunch there. So they're getting into the spirit and then they're poisoning their physical body, which is impacting their spiritual body. Ooh. I said, wow, this is a sad setup right here. But what you just said, that's so divine. Because when people finish eating even, they're so charged up, they want to do the thing that we did when we were young, go downstairs and have the dinner. They went over to you after service and had the dinner. Yes. So that is such divine service to heal our people, right. And I'm loving that within itself. I just got to walk into your space and fill the wall and say, Most High, thank you. Thank you she got through, and her husband, thank you she got through. Because if we don't have the right food, we're going to have diabetes, high blood pressure, headaches, depression, fibroids, all of that. They can eat their breakfast, lunch, and dinner with you, their meals with you, and get well. So if those who are having a hard time, where are you located exactly?
We're at 114 North Market Street in beautiful downtown Inglewood, right between Regent and Queen on Market Street.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, the question comes up again. Are you in service in Agape? Do you go to Agape? Are you busy working?
Busy working. I'm like, look, I got in there this morning at 4 o'clock because I knew I had you. And so I got in there this morning at 4 o'clock, did what I had to do, and I ran home to be home by 9. But I haven't been able to go to services in years since I've had the restaurant. But do you remember Reverend Dr. O.C. Smith?
Yes.
And Robbie Smith, his wife?
I remember the name. It's been a long time.
Oh, I know it's been a long time, but Robbie remembered you. I mentioned you to her today, and she was like, oh, I know her. I love her. Yeah, but anyway, I just wondered, because he was my first spiritual teacher, Dr. O.C. Smith,
Yes.
You are so beautiful. Oh my.
Well, it's reflection. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And I appreciate your longevity, because it takes a lot to stay in business, period. Yes. But I believe your business has grown. That's what I feel like. This is the time with this pandemic, people starting to wake up. People are not straddling the fence like they used to. They like say, where's that? What did you say? What tea? What vitamin? People are like, if I don't want to have to go into the hospital and be by myself, and I don't know if I'm going to get out. So the wise thing is to eat yourself to wellness.
I love that.
Yes.
Self-care.
Self-care, self-love. Let's pack the house. Let's all go have our meals.
There you go.
Let's keep this business thriving, because some businesses are not able to thrive now, but food is medicine. It definitely needs to. I look at that as the pharmacy. I look at that as the hospital. I said it. I believe it. Yes, go and have your healthy, vibrant meals. And if you have a hard time preparing them, then you need help. You need support. Do you ever have classes, workshops, seminars? How do they keep up with you?
Well, right now, my daughter and I'm so excited. My daughter is the founder of the Love Your Age project, and I'm co-founder. And we're now putting together an online retreat. And what we're doing is we're sharing my life's journey. I was 70 years old on December 7th.
Say that again.
And it's unbelievable.
Could you repeat that age?
Yes, 70. I was born in 1950.
Okay, I'm scared. Now I put my glasses on. What? Come on now.
I'm like you. Come on now.
That's so much beauty right there.
But you know what it's all about. You know what it's all about.
Yes.
You know what it's all about. Self-love, self-care. So that's the number one thing. Yeah. The greatest love of all is loving you. And that's what we miss so much. And being convinced that the things that we're telling you, stay away from that, stay away from that. You have to be convinced that these things are bad. Just like if somebody told you, go put some sugar in your gas tank. You would never do that.
You would do it.
You are so convinced that it would mess up the engine of your car. Exactly. You have to be that convinced about this engine. Yeah.
That is absolutely amazing. Well, you certainly have convinced us. Give us one or two things at the top of your list that we should be doing, taking in our bodies to protect us from the coronavirus during this time.
First of all, you need to get off of eating so much death. Life begets life, death begets death. The only way you increase and strengthen that immune system is to get the nutrients that you need to help strengthen your immune system. Death is not going to do it for you. Somebody else's pus and blood ain't going to do it for you. A bag of potato chips and a Coca-Cola ain't going to do it for you. Smoking, drinking, whatever it is you do ain't going to do it for you. So what I do, I focus at 70 years old on the nutrients. I'm not big on giant plates of food. I want some sunlight, and I want to be able to move every single day.
Yes.
And nourish myself. And you know what? Put myself in the number one position. Because if I don't put my oxygen mask on first, I ain't going to be able to help nobody.
Put yourself in the number one position.
That's it.
All right. That's it. Everybody remember that one. Because you take care of the children. It's a woman's thing. Yeah. It's a mother thing. You take everything out and everyone outside of yourself, and you're the last one to be taken care of. We have to turn that around. We're number one. And
you're
it's showing up.
Amazing.
Honey, it's showing up on you. Keep showing that beauty, that grace, that power, that majesty, that prosperity, that good marriage, all of that. Food is medicine.
Thank you.
And we feel your medicine.
Thank you, sweetheart. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. I feel your fitness. I feel your work. You're putting some work.
Thank you. First and foremost, thank you so much for having me. It's such an honor to be here with you.
Thank you. Yes, indeed. Well, what were you always like this? Did you grow up into fitness? Is it in your family? How did you get into fitness? Why did you get into fitness?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think I want to say I came from a very, very active and sporty family. I grew up a typical tomboy. I ran track. I played football. I climbed trees.
You played football?
All of that. And I think it has definitely shaped the woman that I am today. But I'm in a different space now as a grown woman, a mother of four, and a husband and a whole family life. You know, fitness to me now is not just a sport. It's a way of healing and keeping my physical and mental self strong in many ways.
Wow. So your children are into fitness with you. Your husband, is everybody into the fitness with
Oh
you?
my goodness. Yes. This family here, we stay bouncing off the walls. The 4 kids are super athletic, and my husband also likes to stay active as well.
Wow. That is sensational. So during this pandemic, how has that impacted your work? What changes did you have to make your work continue to prosper and flourish?
Yeah, you know, this has been a really interesting time, and I'm very sensitive to those that are being really impacted negatively by this quarantine life and this pandemic this whole world is going through. I will say, Queen Afua, I have actually been super blessed in the fact that when it comes to work, I've been able to utilize online streaming, live classes, and I retained a lot of my customer base and be able to provide value in keeping them motivated, inspired, not just to move their physical bodies, but to think about how they're really checking their mindset, their spiritual health, their emotional health, and how they navigate life in this space with their families. So, although it's been tough for many, when it comes to work, I've actually found a way to pivot and still reach my audience and still provide value to them via the internet.
Mm-hmm. Well, the fact that people are home now, sometimes you have their attention. Have you found anyone who said, well, I didn't have time before, but now I have more time, so I can actually get more sessions in? Have you seen a shift in any way? How is it showing up now for you in your work?
Yeah, absolutely. I think now more than ever, we all know, our focus now can be shifted in different areas and different aspects of our life, whether or not it's perhaps going back to that idea about starting a new business or developing a deeper relationship with our children or our spouses. Definitely people have now the time or extra time to focus on things that were outside of their regular routine. I think, I have heard stories where this has been perhaps not for the better or has been really challenging for some. And I think it's been a great way for people to reflect on kind of where they are in their lives and what's most important, and finding the holes and perhaps the vulnerabilities of where they lack in relationships or where they want to direct their attention. But for me, I like to be a resource and a vehicle to provide some type of advice and guidance as to how I'm doing it. I am sharing a space, and this is not a large house, but I have 4 boys and my husband that are like trying to figure it out, homeschooling, keeping them active physically as well as mentally has been such a challenge. So I have tried to be a big of a resource that I can, using my social media platform to continuously share messages of inspiration and focus on the things that matter.
Mm-hmm. And tell us, in terms of the eating, because the food is all connected too, and especially now boosting up our immune system, could you give us some suggestions on things that you recommend for people to include while in their fitness?
Yeah, sure. I think we've been very vulnerable to sort of get into a lax state of how we want to feed our bodies. And, I like to, in speaking with my personal clients and dealing with people that I'm in contact with on a regular, the challenge has been this idea of just constant snacking. We're at home now. We're typically obviously comfortable. We're dressing more comfortably. And usually that means this idea of comfort food is so readily accessible to us. Some people also are not necessarily motivated to constantly cook every single meal because they might not be used to that anyways. So I like to really approach diet as something that is realistic. The idea of saying you must eat this and you must eat that has never worked for me personally, and I don't think has worked for those I've worked one-on-one with. So to me, it's all about moderation and balance. I am trying to promote eating healthy because I know what that means for our physical bodies and how that manifests in our mindset. So definitely I adopt more of an 80-20 rule. The idea of 80% of the time, let's really be conscious about what we're feeding our bodies and making sure it's nutritious so it can fuel us, not just physically, but mentally, spiritually. And then 20% of the time, Friday night comes along. If you're a mom like me and you want to order pizza with the kids, then that's okay too. Just like moderation is key.
Okay. Thank you for that, because that takes the edge off. Some people are like, how much do I have to change to have a healthy life? So give us like a picture of what this looks like, what you would recommend as way of life of movement, of exercise? Is it 30 minutes? Is it every day? If it's every other day, how do you see that for us?
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, I like to say this to premise what I'm about to say. A lot of people consider exercise or working out more or less a chore, like something they should do because it's healthy. But what I like to say, especially with my clients, is the idea of like changing your relationship with moving, changing your relationship with the idea of exercise and working out. It really shouldn't be something that you have to roll your eyes about, or something that you feel like you have to like tick off and cross off, like something that is not so pleasant. The idea of moving your body is literally a gift to yourself. It is a blessing to be able to have these legs and these arms and this physical body that allows you to do what you want to do when you want to do it. So I like to promote this idea that movement is not a chore. It's not something that should be palmed off or perhaps looked at as a second thought just because it's supposed to be healthy for you. Movement is absolutely a gift you can give to yourself. And I always recommend gifting yourself on a daily basis, not necessarily meaning that I'm promoting that people should work out every single day. But again, changing that mindset and thinking about it, any type of movement, whether that's walking the neighborhood block with your children, taking a stroll, a light run on the beach, hiking, anything that you can do to move your physical self at least 3 to 4 times a week, from anything from 30 to 45 minutes is going to really take a positive impact on your physical health for sure.
Could you give us 3 exercises on the top 10 list?
Oh, when it comes to me, I absolutely love training my lower body. So legs, thighs, all of that. So I think my top 3 would most probably be the classic squat. I like to squat.
Squats.
Yes, ma'am. And then I also love a deadlift. So it's just in the opposite motion, leaning forward, building up my hamstrings and glutes. Because my granddaddy always said, a strong body is essential for success. So that's always been key for me. And then I think my third and final top 3 would be some type of body weighted movement. So I like to say dynamic and bouncy and like to jump. So I probably would have to say something like jumping lunges.
Jumping lunges.
Lunges, yes.
A jumping lunge. I'm trying to get the vision. Okay. A jump. Okay, I did. Okay, thank you. Okay. Well, you look like you do some jumping lunges. I could feel the vibration. I could feel the strength in your body and the buoyancy.
There you go.
Right. So it makes sense that fitness would make you more successful.
Oh my goodness. I think, fitness is fitness. You can look at it in any type of way. Fitness for me, however, without sounding too cliche, really saved my life, really had a massive impact and significance on how I looked at myself and how I saw the world. Because it wasn't until I started moving, like literally getting up off the couch and out of my depressive state, that I really saw the beauty in my own life. I really saw the beauty in the world. And I wasn't going to see any of that from my couch. Nothing. So the idea of just getting up and moving my physical body meant that I could see other things, meant that I could travel and see the world and be humbled by different cultures, putting life in perspective. I fell into a depression because someone broke my heart and I couldn't find the pieces to find the strength to get up and carry on. But being able to move my body and see different things not only meant the endorphins were going and I knew I was going to get in a healthier mindset, but it literally allowed me to move my body into different places around the world so I could see other things that took a huge impact on how I saw myself and the world. I don't know.
So when you taught fitness, when you traveled, how did the fitness get you around the world?
Yeah, well, not necessarily. Before I even started in the health and fitness industry, I was at the very forefront of my journey and my story. I was a very depressed young woman that allowed, the ending of a relationship to really own me. I attached my personal happiness with somebody else. And when that somebody else was no longer there, I fell into this deep depression, and I all I did was go to work and sat on my couch and cried myself to sleep every night. And I dropped a whole lot of weight, and I had to figure out how to get into a better, healthier state. And I didn't know how to do that. I didn't know how to do it mentally or spiritually or emotionally. I was too broken. But the only thing I could do is, like, I could move my body. I could get up off the couch. I could walk into a gym. I could run the West Side Highway. I was living in New York at the time. I could do something with my body. And so when people say, you know, what does fitness mean to you? I mean, fitness means so much more than building, you know, a muscular body or squatting and deadlifting. Moving to me is freedom. It's freedom, and it's a way of maintaining confidence in myself. And I think, you know, I've always said fitness allows me to do what I want to do when I want to do it. And so fitness means a whole lot to me.
Well, I'm inspired by you. I'm really going to take it to the next level now.
Thank
So
you.
how did you get into Thick Fit? How did you get with that concept?
Yeah, thank you for asking. I think when I first started in fitness, I was looking for inspiration. I was looking for women like myself, women of color even, that I could see as role models. I wanted to pursue fitness. I wanted to be an example of what it was to be a woman, to be a Black woman, and be a positive role model. Sadly, I couldn't find other women of color that kind of looked like me, had a body like me. You know, a lot of what we saw in the health and fitness industry was, you know, the others that were very lean, very, you know, on the slimmer side, muscular. And I was like, I can't identify with that. So instead of looking for what I needed to be inspired, I decided to be it. And as a woman of color, I hold a thicker frame. I'm a curvier woman. I probably don't look like your typical fitness or fitness trainer. You know, I promote that we should show up as ourselves, the way God intended us to be, and just perhaps build on what we already have, but understand that how we are, our bodies, especially women of color that are built curvier, a little thicker in stature. This is nothing to do. Not fight your genetics. Embrace your genetics. And so a lot of my key messaging around my brand and my business, especially around health and fitness, has been just to say little things like, you know, thick thighs save lives, and these thick legs make me powerful and strong, and giving them the type of verbiage. Basically just doing that, just giving them the type of verbiage. Yeah. It's just positive messages.
I love it. Wow. Well, you are all encompassing. I'm very excited about you. Did you ever go into the bodybuilding world and do some of that?
I did, Queen. I spent about 2 years in that bodybuilding world. I did.
I see her. How did you do in that world? I've never met anyone like that. How was that world for you?
It is a pretty crazy atmosphere and sport, if you will, to be a part of. I'm on the fence about whether or not I think it's a good or a bad thing. I think it lives between a bit of both, to be completely honest with you. I personally learned so much about myself, and for that reason, I'm so grateful I went through that journey, but I am very hesitant to promote it in any such way that is aligned with speaking to women like myself looking for healthier lifestyles. I think it's definitely too extreme to promote in that way.
I understand. Well, that's going to be in the autobiography. The Journey to Fitness.
Yes.
Okay. That's your title. Anyhow, lovely. I am motivated. I'm going to get to the gym, which is 20 steps away, tomorrow and tonight. Okay, I promise you.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much. I enjoyed you. So delightful. How did they follow up with you?
I'm sorry, what was that?
How do they follow you? The people who want to get consultations, start right now. Get off that couch. Make it happen. God. Come on,
I am trying to serve all types of inspiration using also my social media platform. My name is Lita, and that's Lita. So it's follow the Lita on also social media on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all of it.
All right. Well, they're coming because we need to get fit.
Yes, we do.
Body, mind, and spirit. Thank you for
Absolutely.
taking us there. We
Absolutely.
are highly inspired, and your family is marvelous. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you again for having me.
Well,
Have a wonderful day.
you too.
Bye, y'all.
Thank you to all my subscribers. We are giving away a free 7-day detox kit when we reach our milestone goal of 50,000 subscribers to this channel. To enter for your chance to win, all you have to do is subscribe to our channel, like and comment on this video, and we will choose the winner from the comments section. Thank you for growing with us. Ashe.